The Gamesir Nova Lite is an excellent budget multi-platform controller that features Hall effect sticks to eliminate stick drift and prolong its lifespan. It also comes packed with extra features and is compatible with PC, Android, iOS, and Nintendo Switch. I'll be talking about this and more right after the TLDW. TLDW, the Nova Lite is an amazing controller for the price by a great and trusted brand. On Amazon US, it's priced at $25 and here in the Philippines, it's usually priced at around 1,020 pesos, but can go as low as 800 pesos. It has Hall effect sticks to eliminate stick drift and prolong its lifespan, and feels very smooth for a budget controller. It's also wireless. With PC, it comes with a 2.4 GHz dongle, while on other platforms it has Bluetooth built into it and can run for over 6 hours on full battery. However, it doesn't come with a cable to cut down on the price, and to be honest, the D-pad leaves a lot to be desired. If you want to hear me talk more in depth about it, stick around for the full review. For the uninitiated, Hall effect joysticks work on magnets and have less moving parts than a normal joystick. This simply means that they don't wear out faster and will not start drifting after a long time. If you want to learn a bit more, here's a video by Marius Heyer on how it all works. Check it out when you have the time. While we're on the topic of the joystick, there's virtually no dead zone on this controller and they're very precise. In games, the no dead zone won't be a problem because games usually have a dead zone threshold into them. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's walk back to the controller itself. Inside the box, this is all you get. The case it comes with, the dongle inside the case, and finally a QR code for the manual. Take note that there isn't a cable included and you need a USB-C cable to charge it. The Nova Lite is made out of plastic and looks cheap, but it's actually built very well. It's shaped like a DualSense for the PS5 but with an Xbox style layout. The model I have here is the Space Purple variant and it comes with 5 other color variants: Stellar White, Sky Blue, Blush Pink, Mint Green, and Golden Yellow. The surface has this speckled texture on top of it, while the back of the grips have this dotted texture. The face buttons are apparently a double shot, and for the other buttons and the D-pad, they have the legends carved right into them. The caps on the joysticks are made out of super cheap rubber that almost feels like plastic and doesn't really stop your fingers from slipping. The shoulder buttons have a tactile bump before it registers the press, and the triggers aren't that heavy, so pulling down on it is quite smooth. This controller comes with rumble as well as many other features. Down in between the analog sticks is the M button that allows you to use these features like turbo or controlling the vibration intensity, or even swapping the A and B buttons in functionality for Switch users. With the same button, you can also disable the 0 dead zones on the sticks if you want to. Moving on to wireless performance, it's definitely not bad. Testing was done solely on PC since I don't have any good games on my phone or any other console, and I tested it out on Rift of the Necrodancer, an upcoming rhythm game with really good music and a fun demo. Keep an eye on the accuracy bar on the bottom of the screen. Here, the middlemost portion of the bar or the purple area is an accurate button press, and my accuracy is lower as far from the center I am. I don't feel any input lag, and whatever inaccuracy I make is definitely my old rickety ass. This section here was done while I'm just right next to the dongle, and in this section here, I'm around 2 meters away from the dongle to simulate someone playing from their couch. Gameplay here is actually still very responsive. The only thing that made me do so bad wasn't input lag, but was the fact that I couldn't really see my screen from this distance. I couldn't test Bluetooth performance on this controller, but I wouldn't expect it to match the wireless band, so keep your expectations low. You can also use it on wired mode, but for some reason it didn't work on my cable. Onto other genres of games, and this controller, I have to say, is very good. I would say that it rivals the DualShock 3 and 4, but not quite as tactile as the Logitech F310. For racing games and FPS games, playing with the sticks is the best experience I've ever had on all of the controllers I've tried, and they're very responsive and they're really smooth. On top of that, I've used this once for 6 hours straight with the rumble on, and it only got orange battery life, and that's around 25 to 50%. Redout 2 is a unique anti-gravity racing game where you control the movement of your ship as well as the pitch on the respective sticks. Being able to make fine adjustments to my turning as well as the strafing of my ship is very important in this game, as you can strafe to take corners differently to lessen the speed loss on the curve. There's also needing to adjust your ship's nose so it doesn't grind on the vertical loops, or so you don't fall off the track. In Titanfall 2, the experience was really good, but to be honest, I'm not good with the controller in these games, so I usually let aim assist take the wheel. But in times where I had to actually adjust my aim myself, it was once again smoother and responsive, and I didn't really have any real problems. For other games I have like Code Vein, Daemon X Machina, Mirage Feathers or Monster Hunter, same thing. Now, I'm not used to the Xbox layout, but I was very comfortable playing with these. Dodging, rolling, anything timing based, I didn't have any problems. For platformers and fighting games though, we'll talk about that in a bit because what I might say will make you think twice about getting this controller. But now let's move on to the downsides of this controller. Let's start with the D-pad. I'll be frank, I do not like the D-pad. It's not because they're too hard to press down or what have you, but the shape just isn't great. I prefer the F310's D-pad because it's a better overall feel with its tactility and shape, and here pressing a single button is fine, but when it comes to diagonal inputs, it feels very mushy. This is most evident where you first press down on any direction and then try to make a diagonal input. The best I can describe this feeling is it's as if you're pressing down on Play-Doh. There's also a problem where it doesn't register an input at all, and on top of that, there's this problem with the D-pad where if you press a direction and put a bit of force on either side, it'll register a diagonal input even when you didn't mean to. Let me demonstrate this with Crypt of the Necrodancer and Blazblue Chronophantasma Extend. For Crypt, I mostly play with the controller, and here you can see my diagonal inputs not registering at all, or it gives me one where I didn't want it. This game is a roguelite rhythm dungeon crawler where you can only take actions on the beat. Misinput on this game means that I lose my combo, which isn't ideal for score runs, and while playing as Miku, I actually take damage for missing a beat. BBC pecs here, and making inputs isn't great at all. A wave dash or DP motion, which is forward into down, down forward, forward, can't be made consistently, where it doesn't register the down forward portion of the input. Double quarter circle or 2QCF, which is just 2 DP motions, also has a tendency to not properly register the diagonal input sometimes. Basically anything with a diagonal input is inconsistent on this controller, so I can't really recommend this controller for platformers and especially fighting games. If you ask me, find a controller with the F310's D-pad or get the hitbox. So, in conclusion, the Gamesir Nova Lite isn't perfect, but it's very close. It's an excellent wireless controller for PC that comes with good extra features and has a great battery life. The only thing holding this controller back is the D-pad, but if you play games that don't rely on it, definitely get this controller. Hey, thanks for reaching the end of this video. I've long since stopped playing fighting games, so sorry if I don't have a proper fighting game to test this on. I honestly think this is a great controller though, and you should get it if you're looking for a high quality budget controller. I have more videos planned like I mentioned in my update video, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you once again for reaching up to this point, and I'll see you in the next video.